So for this video, we are going to define geometric series, find the sum of the finite geometric sequence, and solve problem involving geometric series. So a geometric series is the sum of the terms of a geometric sequence. So just like arithmetic series, know that uh, arithmetic series is a sum of the terms in an arithmetic sequence. So let's have an example. What is the sum of the first 10 terms of 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 and so on? So for the solution, first, we are going to count the number of terms in the given example and multiply it by 2. So we have 20. So why 20? It's because 10 times 2 is 20. So, mura na i-count pila ka terms. So, 10. Yeah, kay tag 2 man nakaisa. So, 10 times 2 is 20. So, if the common ratio is equal to 1, so why 1? Because 2 divided by 2 is 1. So, if we go back to our discussion about finding the common ratio, we just divide the two preceding terms, or second term divided by first term, that is finding the common ratio. So, remember that n is the number, then S sub n is equal to n times a sub 1. Thus, your n is the number of term we are looking for, and a sub 1 is the first term. So just take note with these notations or variables. So again, if r is equal to 1, then your S sub n is equal to n times a sub 1, where n is the number of terms and a sub 1 is the first term. So what is this S sub n? Your S sub n is the sum of the terms in a given sequences. So if that is geometric, so S sub n refers to geometric series. Now, what if r is equal to negative 1, or our common ratio is equal to negative 1? So we have two cases or conditions here. First, if our common ratio is equal to negative 1, then the n, or the number of terms, is even, and then our sum of the terms in that sequence is equal to 0. So just like our example, the number of terms is 10, and 10 is an even number. So the sum of the terms is equal to 0, or S sub n is equal to 0. But if r is equal to negative 1 and n is odd, then your S sub n is equal to a sub 1. Okay, so what if the common ratio is not 1 nor negative 1? So, what if kuno ang common ratio kay dili 1 o negative 1? Kaya kung 1 o negative 1 na ang common ratio mo to ang ganiha nga i-present nako. Pwede ra o dili na to sulbon. So, to find the sum of finite geometric sequence, so what we are going to do to find S sub n, or sum of the sequence? So, we have this formula. Okay, we have S sub n is equal to a sub 1 times quantity r raised to the power of n minus 1 all over r minus 1. So only n is raised to r. And take note that r should not be, or the common ratio should not be equal to 1. Okay, so let's have an example. What is the sum of the first 5 terms of 3, 6, 12, 24, 48, 96, and so on? So you are going to, or we are going to find the sum of the first 5 terms of the given sequence. So for the solution, so first we are going to do is to identify the given from the given problem. So a sub 1 is equal to 3, or the first term is equal to 3. Next, r is equal to 2. Why? If you are going to divide the second term by the first term, that is equal to 2. Next, n, or the number of terms, is equal to 5. Why? Based from the problem, we are going to find the first 5 terms. Now, substitute the given to the given formula. We have now 3 times quantity 2 raised to 5 minus 1 all over 2 minus 1. So take note, only 2 is raised by 5. So 2 raised to 5 is equal to 32. So that is why we have here 3 times quantity 32 minus 1 over 2 minus 1 is 1. Now, simplify that one, the answer is 93. Or the sum of the first 5 terms of the given sequence is 93. Another example. A ball is tossed to a height of 4 meters, rebounds to 40% of its previous height. Find the distance the ball traveled when it strikes the ground for the 5th time. Okay, so we'll have an illustration. So, first bounce and back, it measures 4 meters. So, upward, kay mo bounce man ito as upward 4 meters. Yeah, downward, another na po is 4 meters. So, that is equal to 8 meters. That was the first strike. Then it says that on the second rebound, it decreases 40% compared to the previous bounce. So from 4 meters, we are going to find the 40% of 4 meters. So 4 times 0.4 because 0.4 is just equal to 40%. So 0.4 in decimal is equal to 40% in percentage. So 4 times 0.4 is 1.6. So that is our second bounce or rebounds. So, mahimo na siyang 1.6 pataas, 1.6 paubos. So that is equal to 3.2 meters. Another, kuan naman po siya, mo decrease na po ng 40%. So, kuan na po na 40% ang 1.6. So, times 0.4, that is 0.64. So 0.64 plus 0.64 is 1.28 meters. So we have 3 strikes here. So if you're going to find the 5th time, so we can have the sequence 8 plus 3.2 plus 1.28 plus so on. So we can apply, no? So we can apply the formula for geometric series since may taon na nato ang distance nga travel niya. So a sub 1 is equal to 8, then r is equal to 3.2 divided by 8 or second term divided by first term, that is equal to 0.4. Then n is equal to 5 since for the 5th time ang hangtod sa ikalima ang atong pangitaon. So substitute to the given formula, we have 8 times quantity 0.4 raised to 5 minus 1 all over 0.4 minus 1. So only 0.4 is raised by 5 in the numerator. So simplify further, we have negative 7.91808 divided by negative 0.6. And then we have negative divided by negative is positive. So the answer or the quotient for negative 7.91808 and negative 0.6 is 13.1968. So for the final answer, we have 13.19, or if you are going to round to the nearest 2 decimal places, we have 13.20 meters.